Good to see everybody. So just stand in a spot, bring your hands to your side, take a breath in, think about gratitude, and bow. All right, put your feet out, just wider than shoulders. And let your weight sort of sink down a bit, let your hands fall. Now, as you feel your weight sink down, relax your hips, but pull the pelvis up and forward so that the lower back straightens. And then think about your shoulders and allow the shoulders to kind of open the chest so that it sits on top of the hips. And then from there, you have your core stability. Hands are going to fall down, and now they're going to trace that area up to the top of the throat and down. Up, and now as I come up, my hands are rising away from me, and the palms are facing in at me. And then the palms comes in, and then it just falls down the center line, the fingers not touching but coming very close. This is breathing in, this is breathing out. And just do it at a natural, smooth pace on your own. You don't have to follow my rhythm. Now, as your hands rise up, turn your palms up more. And then as the palms come in, push down to the ground. Palm up, palm down. And start to accentuate the movement of the hand by coming up in your body. You're rising your whole body up and sinking down your whole body here. Now, as you do that, pay very close attention to your lower back so that it stays straight. It's not falling forward or back. You're allowing your entire torso, especially your spine, to rise up and down in a way that is straight up and down, no leaning to the outside or anything. And then one more detail, oh, maybe two more details. As you push up from the front of your feet, near your toes. And as you sink down, sink into your heels. So as you breathe in and come up, pushing from the toes, the forward part of the foot, as you sink down, sink into the back, the heel. Pay very close attention to your weight to make this work. Now, 3 slow breaths. In, rising, pushing from the front of the feet. Out, sinking, falling into the heel. Rising. And now hold it for a moment, and then when it falls, like a leaf falling from a tree. And one more. In, rising, pushing into the front of the feet. Suspended in the midair, and then like a leaf, fall back down into your heels. And then feet together, breathe in. Breathe out. Around your hips, and then down to the ground. And then breathe in again, and push up and away. Shake it off. Good. All right. Right foot forward, left foot back. Feet shoulder width, of course. I've said that since the beginning. It's very important for stability. If you can see my feet right now. If this foot is ever here, the stability is limited to like a few degrees. This, 1 or 2 this way. But when the foot is shoulder width, you have an entire range of motion you can work with it. So always check that you're doing the stance correctly. Now, hands are going to be up, holding the ball. And what you're going to simply do is lower your right hand like this and bring your left knee to your right hand. And then bring it back down. And so we've done this type of thing before, but today, add this into your mind a little bit more, focus on this a little bit more. When you come up, everybody, we know now the idea of keeping the body straight and aligned and balanced. But when you step back, I want you to focus on stepping back to the width I was talking about, to the shoulder width, and rooting onto the back foot seamlessly, like just really have that be done powerfully. So when I come up and I put my foot back, it's a technique. See how that movement comes down and in very, locks into that place very strongly? This is what I want to go for, okay? So from here, off the left knee touching the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, do it as a kick. So a kick is simply to come up and out, and then come back and push down, okay? To your own degree of comfort, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then switch feet. Just the knee, the right knee going to the left hand. 1, stepping back strongly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now is a full kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So this movement, of course, is part of the Tai Chi, right? The pulling back. So you want to develop a lot of strength here. You see that in the form when you go like that, right? Throw away the thermos and I turn. My hip has to go here to do that move. So, right foot forward again. Now, relax. Take your right hand up, and then bring your hand across and draw a circle. Pay attention to the idea you're crossing your knee to your knee, and then rotating the palm and up. Now, as you're connecting this knee to that knee with your hand, reach forward with the other hand, left. And then as this hand comes up, the left hand comes down, and now it's the left hand's turn to connect the knee to the knee. So there's always one hand connecting the knees while the other hand is up. Relax. Relax your hip. And now notice when you go back that this is the motion we were just working on with the legs stepping back here. Pulling in and back. And then from that muscle group on the side, that's where the turn rotates. So you push from that hip back out. You're developing awareness of the muscles that truly turn and torque, I guess you could say, the torso as it needs to move through space with these kinds of twists. Now, go to the forward position. We're going to finish with this. From the beginning of the form, when you clench your fingers, it's called tiger claw. If you make a fist and you put your middle finger in the center of your palm, it's called lao gum. This is the center point of the palm. I want you to focus with a clenched hand right at that point as if there's a laser beam shooting from your hand. So you'll go back, and when you go forward, from here out, gradually add tension into your hands until the very end, you express a strong, like a steel or a stone hand, like your hands become super, super strong. And then it comes back and relaxes. Okay? Now this has to be done with breathing, so it's got to be breath out to express yang, and then breath in is to relax, is yin. Now, one more detail though. This hand should still be relaxed. So don't let yourself tense both hands, just this hand. One more, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Feel the breath want to leave, and then push it out from your feet. Squeeze your hand, your left hand only. Relax your right. Hold it. And then breathe in, feet together. And breathe out. All the way around your hips to the ground. Around your toes and up. And then flip up and open. Shake it out. Now, left foot forward. And same thing on the other side. Start with the left hand. It draws a circle, it comes back. It connects the back knee to the front knee. So that's your first circle. The second circle, of course, is the right hand then in this case. As you connect your back knee to your front knee, you reach. But we're not reaching with tension yet, just softly. Now, connect this knee to this knee as you go back. So it's 2 circles in 2 directions, connecting the knees each time. So connect to your breathing, breathe softly, gently, out when you go forward, in when you go back. Paying attention to that turning of the hips, especially on the shifting back here that we were talking about today. Here, feeling that dynamic here on the side muscles of the leg, of the back, and then forward pushing through that leg. And now start to think about the idea of the tiger claw with the right hand, the tension in the hand. Build into it. Don't forget this hand is relaxed. So add a little more tension every time. Learn to graduate the tension so that it's got a huge range between being totally relaxed and totally contracted. There's a huge range. Try to feel that out for a moment. And then we'll do 3 times where you bring it to the max. Okay? So this will be 1. Breathe in, fill. Now the maximum of your expression out. 2. 1 more, 3. Hold it, and then like a leaf falling of its own accord. Squeeze your stomach, squeeze your hand, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then breathe in. Feet together. 1 more time. Round and down. Up and in. And out and open. Shake it off a bit. Good. All right, let's have a stretch. Push your feet out. Sink down. Push your toes out to the outside. Hands on the knees. This. And then just sort of sit down. Let your hips relax. And wiggle side to side. It's all about relaxing the psoas muscles, the ones that run from the top of the hips, sort of, or the bottom of the hips, I should say, down the back of the legs. Hamstrings. Now, feet forward by turning your heels out. Bring your forearm down the inside of your knee and push your knees out and let your hips sink down even more. Relaxing, letting the tension melt away. Now, keep your back straight, reach forward, and extend your spine. And now hands down, walk over to your right ankle, pull your head to the right. And then over to the left. And then back to the middle. Straighten your spine. Turn to your left. And push into the left. Push in more, push the back foot out, leaning into the stance and the leg that you're sitting on. Put your hand down, heel up, and runner stretch to the side. Put your back knee down and push your weight forward against your left foot, stretching the underside of the left leg. And then shift your weight back, point your toes, grab your toes with your left hand, lean over your legs. Then put your hands down on the ground, turn your heel up, walk back to your right foot, Tai Chi stretch. Turn your foot back to the middle, straighten up, and turn to the right. Settle into the stretch. Take a moment, let your hips relax. Start to push into the stretch, let the weight shift into the leg. Lean into it. Now put your hand down, heel up, runner stretch. Your back knee down, push your weight forward. And then come back, foot in the air, grab, and stretch. Hands down, walk back to your left foot, Tai Chi stretch. And then hands to the middle, work your feet in. Hang for a moment, straightening the back of your legs for a stretch. Then breathing in, bring your hands up the back of your legs. Bring your hands right up to your kidneys or your lower back and breathe out and push forward, release the stretch. And then circle the hips around your head, but your head should stay still. And then the other way, keep the head still. Good. Shake it out. Good. All right. Now, hands up. Open, in. Open, in. Faster. And now, come up and open. Breathe in and out. And when you extend to your fingertips. One more, two more. One. Extend your fingertips. Two. Now let the hands drop. Breathe in again. And out again. Two. Three. And then reach for the ceiling. Palms straight forward. Push your fingertips as high as they can. Keep your lower back comfortable though. Don't stress your back. And now push your toes down. Push your toes down and then push your heels up. So focus on keeping your toes pushing down. And then bring your heels down. Relax your toes, pull your elbow behind your head. Switch elbows, pull the other one behind your head. Reach up again, look up, fingertips as high as they can go, push the toes down, push the heels up. Extend from the toes to the fingertips. And then heels down, let your left elbow come across, pull it in and twist. Twist from your waist and from your legs. Switch arms and twist. Drop your arms, shrug your shoulders. 1, 2, and 3. And shake out. All right. Wrist stretch. So one detail, I don't know if I mentioned enough, but I'll keep mentioning it, of course, is when we do this, to pay attention now that you hopefully got the sense of this, is that the wrist is lower than the elbow, and then the elbow is lower than the shoulder. You're not stretching it here, although you could come up to just below the horizontal, but definitely not above it. And the reason for that is you can test this on yourself. Put your hand out straight, bring your wrist out like this, and pull back. And you stretch your wrist. You can feel it in your wrist right away. You can feel this is getting stretched. But then lower it below what I would call the horizon, and pull, and then you see the shoulder immediately rise. See that? That lever between here and here. That can't happen there, but it can happen here. That is how this works as a jiu-jitsu technique or Shina technique. Is you imagine somebody punches or grabs are a little simpler to make sense of. They grab and you're able to defend it, just something like this. And you twist and push in under their hand like this. You grab their top of their hand and you push up and in. You go under the joints and you bring them up like that. Okay, and you see that right here in the form. This is what this hand could be doing. This is what this hand could be doing here. There. So just remind everybody that these are all very important techniques too. So having said that, let's stretch. So the wrist is below the elbow, which is below the shoulder. And then you come back and you turn the hand over and you do the same thing. And again, keep that line from here to here to here in that way. Now, hand to the middle. grab and put your thumb between the carpal bones here or here, between the pinky finger or the ring finger, or the ring finger and the middle finger. Either one's okay for now. Put your thumb between the two carpal bones in one of those points, and then grab the inside of your hand and push your thumb into that point strongly. And you're doing Sagittal 3. And it makes this, as a technique, even more effective, because this is also a throwing technique. And if you learn to grab and put your thumb into that point, it works even better. And then bring your hand around to crane beak position. And remember that the space between the thumb, the base of the thumb, and the base of the index finger here, about halfway between, is called Li4. It's a very commonly used acupressure point. And you're putting your palm on Li4, which is to put that point that we focused on in the beginning against that point. And you see this in a lot of movies sometimes. We have kung fu films where they do this, kind of bowing, or this kind of thing. This is what they're doing, is they're bringing that point to that point. And it actually has merit. In ancient China, they used to do a lot of salutation like this. So you're sort of touching on that when you do this stretch. And then shake it off. And then all the same thing on this head. Back and down, keeping the alignment that I was talking about, pushing back. And then in, twist, put your thumb in that space I was talking about, and twist. And then in the crane beak, align the hands and push down. And give it a little shake. Put your hands on your hips, turn your head side to side. And then roll your chin, roll your chin, roll your chin, and roll your chin. And look forward and look up, down, and 1, 2, 3, other way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So that's a good warm up today. Good. All right. So I'm going to be continuing to go with the idea that everybody's keeping up enough with what's going on that I can keep slowly working at the second set. If anybody feels like they're lost or they need to review anything, just let me know in any sort of message or email Bruno or whatever you want to do. But we'll just keep moving ahead. I don't see why not. So let's review the first set and the beginning. I think we did the beginning of the second set last week, I think. So we'll just get through that and then build from there, okay? So, first set. From here, I'm gonna face this way, so just go along with me here. So, beginning, relax, standing, feeling your weight going into your heels, pushing the top of the head up, and creating that feeling of the alignment of the core that we started the class with this, keeping this core aligned and feeling solid in a sense, okay? So that's the idea of this stance. And then you step out and you carry that feeling with you. Your hands fall, and then the form begins. And what you're doing is you're constantly moving around, holding that center, that alignment of the core. Turning to the front, make sure that your alignment is straight to the front. Make sure that you're clearing in the height of the top of your chest. And then you make a crane beak and you bring your knee up, and then your foot guides you down, out, and you're expanding between two arms at the same time. And then your eyes lead, your body follows, and you look and you bring your fingertips almost together. Then your weight shifts, and as it does, you circle with the hands so that three limbs, two arms and a leg align here, fingers point up, hands drop, knee rises, knee is at the highest point, hands are at the lowest point, hands come back up. And then everything comes down the center together. Now make yourself small and narrow, clear, keep away, strike with the back of the wrist to throat height. Now from here, turn to the left, rock back, circle with the left hand, block one, block two, clear with the left, posture, strike, one, cup air, two, clear out of the way, step forward, and strong strike with the palm. Now from here, reach up, come back. And then again, clear strongly with the left hand, pushing and hitting with the right palm. Now, brush the knee, turn the ankle, take a big step, and push. Brush the knee, turn the ankle, take a big step, and push. Reaching up again, thumbs are down, come back, brushing to the side. Now, wave at the crowd with the right hand. Hold the tray with the left hand. Shift your weight forward and hit with the edge of the pan on the right. Bring your hand down and across, hitting with the palm heel, the bottom of the palm with your left. Make a fist with your right hand and do a Tai Chi hook punch with the thumb to the ground. Let the hand drop. Let the back of the hand come across, scoop, bring up the foot and the hand together, kick, stomp kick. Hands back up, or left hand up, stepping forward with the right, pushing with the left. And then from here, stepping with the left foot, extending the left fingers, and then punching with the right hand. Vertical punch, thumb to the ceiling. Back. Hands back. Push away. And then carrying the tiger to the mountain. Feeling the weight of the tiger coming up. And then I think I want to do that again, just to make sure that everything is still there. I'll do it without as much talking. So try to just follow the movements of the body. Again, I'm looking for questions. Anybody wants any questions? Because details really do matter. So last time, and then we'll move to the second set. So from here, begin. Okay. Hopefully that was good, and everything was sort of making enough sense, everybody was following. Let's go look at the second set then. Of course, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. One sec, sorry. There. All right, so the second set starts from here. This is carrying the tiger to the mountain, and I always kind of say that's a silly thing, right? Like, why would you carry a tiger to a mountain? Like, what does that mean? But it does indicate at least that you're holding something heavy. So if you know, I'm sure you guys all know, right? Like when you lift something heavy, you lift with your legs, you don't lift with your back, right? So if I was picking up, I don't know, like a heavy suitcase or something, I wouldn't do it like this with my back. I'd want to come down and lift with my legs. So you want that feeling here that you're picking something heavy up, and you have to put that strength into your legs, and the energy is rising up here. Now, what that means is that you're creating a point of yang, let's say, the yang expression. The yang is coming up and becoming strong. So the next move is to go to yin, of course, because yin always goes to yang. And what I like to demonstrate with this, when I can do it, is somebody would grab your wrists, and both wrists, and you go up like this, and what happens to that person is they get pushed back here. It doesn't have to be very far, because you don't really want to go very far, right? The form only comes to here, but it could even be less, just up to there. And you can see the back of my head is going past my heels. So that means the brain instinctually is going to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't want to be off balance here, I want to come back forward. I want to get back to where my head's sitting on my shoulders. So you go up like this, the person gets leaned back, and then when you feel them turning that around to come back in instinctually, you drop back, right? So you're here, and then you feel that push and you drop back. Now this is the first part of the form, right? Dropping back. But this time you're following it. So follow my index finger, and then leaving it out over there, right? The movement comes back and goes off to the corner, but it's that going back that matters. Because again, you rose up. You created a dynamic tension between you and the person. The person is going to push their energy back again, right? They went back, they're coming back forward again. As they do, you drop and let them go. You can do big throws. You can do like full-on, whole-body throws by pulling them in like this and then turning their arms in certain ways. Like if I was here and I grabbed, I came back, and then I came forward like this. This arm can come up here and be levered there, and the head flip over that way by simply turning and pulling this, which is exactly what you do here. Hopefully that made some sense. The application might not make sense, but the principle should make sense, right? I'm coming up to here, and then I'm fading away like an iceberg form, and then melts. Okay, so we start the second set, you come up and you do that, and then that melting I was saying is to come back and turn and go to the corner and do catch a sparrow by the tail in the same way that it was in the first set. All that's good. And push away. Now, this is a point where you want to really be aware of your directions, the 8 directions in the room, because that was where I started, straight here. I'm in the back corner now, and I'm going to turn on my left foot to the left, all the way to the side, in this case on my right, this way. So from here to here, that pivoting on my feet is a spiral. And that spiral is descending slightly, although I wouldn't worry too much about that for now, but it is a spiral through the hip here. Because look, if I face this way, I can only turn my hip to here and here without my feet locking, right? Like if I go any further without moving my feet, I can't, it's not good, my body doesn't work that way. So I have to pivot on my foot. So my left foot becomes my pivot, and then as I do that, my knees align here. See how my 2 knees came together? Okay? So that's from this direction to this direction, here. And then as you do that, you're pushing down with 2 hands. So do it again. The hands are falling, the knees are aligning. There. Now your weight is on your left foot, the foot that's in the front, and you push back, but you've got to bring your right foot behind you. See, it has to go behind you as you push back. And then you do, and as you push back, your hands come up. And then when they get to the point at the top of the head, your weight is now fully on your right foot. Sitting in cat stance, and then you draw the circle with your two hands, and then hold them up, holding the tray. Okay, so that's a very dynamic movement for your legs. And I want to review that again. So go to the corner, end of catching the sparrow by the tail. Now, from the beginning of class, this is aligned and upright, and it stays that way the whole time. Spiral down, block, and think of pushing down like somebody trying to kick, pushing down, head is still up. Now, right leg comes back, and you shift back as you bring your hands up. You settle into the stance, and then draw the circles. Okay, and then of course they end here, and I think I mentioned this, but this is just a variation of the beginning of the form when you come to here, but there. Okay, one more time, and think about the idea of like calligraphy writing, Chinese and calligraphy writing, and it's one continuous line that goes in many directions. There's no breaks. So it's not 1, 2, 3, like that, it's just one thing, okay? So one more time, 1. One fluid motion. Okay, now, quick review of this. I think I talked about this last week, but I'll talk about it again. From this posture, my right hand reaches out and pushes down. My left hand comes out to strike. Think of just striking for the eyes. And then my left hand comes across, my right hand comes on top, and then I strike with the right. So this is, I've read sometimes this move being called something like the 2 forks of the snake's tongue, because you know snakes have the 2 forked tongues. So this is like those 2 things. But what it matters here is that this is a blocking motion to clear and push down. So when you're from here, if something was coming to strike you in the face from here, right, you're gonna push it down, and as you push it down, you're gonna strike over top of it with the other hand, okay? And then of course you're doing the same thing where you block with this hand and come across with the other one. So it repeats the motion for both sides. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but it would work. It does work well if the person punches 1, 2. You can go 1, 2, and then you take control from that. So block, block. Okay, so here. Now, right hand across and block. Left hand across and block. And then strike with the right. Now your right hand's away from you, your left hand's under your right elbow, your right foot is on the ground, left foot forward, cat stance. Now from here, pull your right hand in and extend your left hand out. Okay, so this is a posture we want to remember. My palm is up, but my fingers are not above my wrist, they're slightly below. This hand, the elbow's here, not here, the palm is forward. So whenever we do these kinds of movements, this is one of those positions. And while I'm in that position, I'm in cat stance here. So all my weight's on my right foot, there's no weight on my left foot, and if I really want to get detailed with you, your elbow and your knee align here, okay? Now, from here, we'll go here, I'm gonna raise my left knee and touch my left elbow. And then I'm gonna step behind with my left foot, and as I push my weight back, my left hand comes in and my right hand comes out. And then I do it again, knee to elbow, step back, switch hands. And then I do it a 3rd time. Okay, so we'll do it again from here. Strike 1, strike 2. Now this is the new posture. Left hand out, right hand back. Now, this is a fluid motion. It happens in one go. And then you end with the right foot forward, right hand out. Right foot forward, right hand out, yeah. Okay, so if I face the camera, and I do this, here. 1, 2, 3. Now, we were talking today about this stepping back, right? Stepping back, which is tied to what I'll call the opening of the door principle, which is the first part of the form when you turn this way. You have an attack come in, some energy comes in at you, and you just allow it to go by, or you draw it to the back. So when we do the first part of the form this way, what you're kind of doing is like a bend in a river, where it comes here and then it goes off over that way. But this one is more like, I'm gonna let it come in and then come down behind me, somewhere this way, okay? So when I'm here and I do this hip, because it's gonna be this hip that drops back, is gonna come behind this hip and turn there. There's that motion right here, right? As this goes like that. So the person would fall very close to you here, okay? So imagine I've grabbed someone here with this hand. And I grab them, say, inside their right arm, somewhere in here like this, on the shirt, on the collar, something like that. And I'm gonna pull them back, so they're gonna fall this way, okay? As they fall this way, if they go anywhere beyond here, they will fall, is what I mean to say, right? They will fall here, but they'll fall right there on the ground. And that's what you want. You want to pull them back, and then your hip turns, and they fall right to there in the ground. And as they do that, you're helping them with your other hand. Okay? That's the principle, as I said. Even if the application, you can't see it clearly in your head, is that you're drawing in and then behind you, rather than in and to the side. Okay? So, up, now, 1, 2, and then posture. Now, grab, in your mind, grab something with your left hand. This could be seen as a kick, or a knee, or something to destabilize, and then step back and pull from where you are, as if you're pulling something down, like somebody down to here, and then you're helping with your other hand. Do it again, and then a third time. Okay, now let's put that together. How's the time going? Yeah, okay, let's put that together. The whole second set so far. So, come up, drop back, turn, push away. Catching a sparrow by the tail. Now, spiral down and around, keep your back straight. 1, and then back. Block 1, strike out. Block 2, strike out. Back. Now from here, up and 1, up and 2, up and 3. Okay, and then that's as far as we'll go today. That move, by the way, this move we're doing right now, it's called repulsing the monkey. So whatever that means, I don't really know. Let's do that a couple more times, and we'll try to integrate it with the first set too, and that'll be good enough for today. So from here, I'll do it one more time, and we'll talk through it. Up. Okay. You guys give it a try, actually. It'd be a good idea. See if you can do the second set. Yeah, the people I can see doing it are doing it. It's happening. Okay, that's not bad. So, I mean, from the people that I can sort of see doing that. Remember that everything's built out of fundamental movements too. So even though there's a lot of complexity to the dynamics of how you're moving and the directions and the different uses of the limbs, like this move that we just did is really just this basic push hands movement we do to warm up a lot, right? Whenever you do a warm up like this, it's really just that motion with the two hands alternating. And so you start, you know, in time you'll see more and more of this, but all throughout the form, it's a basic kind of movement, just a circle like this, or a push in and out like this, just done in a slightly different way with a particular stance and a particular dynamical direction. And it is built out of basics. My teacher actually says quite often, there's no such thing as advanced movements in martial arts. There's only advanced understanding of basic movements. And so it may not seem that way, but it is. So let's do the first and second set put together, and we got a couple minutes. I have an idea for the final thing for the class, okay? So first and second set. So standing with feet together, hands on the dantian, relaxing, thinking about breathing smoothly with no obstruction, calming the mind. Stepping out. And now, begin. Good. That's it. You guys have learned a lot. 3 minutes, okay. We can do one thing real quick. I want to start talking a little bit about strategy for self-defense in the sense that practicing the form gives you tools, but you got to learn how to use the tools in a way that isn't necessarily the form. Because first, well, just imagine if you did need to have some use of self-defense. It's not like the form is going to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. You have to take the information from the form and apply it to that situation yourself. And so I want to just start touching on a little bit about how you do that. It's a fascinating study, and it really helps you make sense of how to integrate this information in a bigger sense too. So what we're going to do is play a little game where I'm just going to move towards the camera like an attack, and you're going to respond to the attack, and the goal is, in your mind, to prevent the attack from getting to you. So it's a block. You can think about it as a block. But a block isn't a block in like this sense. It's not a smashing together of things. In Japanese, there's an art called, in Japan's traditions, there's an art called Aikido. And Aikido is very famous, and you can see it more easily on YouTube and stuff if you want to look it up. And it's based on the principle of blending and yielding to the attack. So a person comes in with an attack, and there's this fluid dynamic of drawing that energy in. Exactly, essentially, as we're doing it, it's a little different stylistically, but it's the same principle. And so what that means is a block isn't a block. A block is a harmonization of incoming energy with your response. And that requires you to be at peace and to stay at peace as you respond. So this is a very, very difficult thing and a very different way than just blocking something. Okay, so we'll probably have time to do it like once. But we'll talk about this more and more because it is how you develop the Tai Chi in a greater context. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my trusty staff here. And you guys are going to put your hands up and say, I don't want to fight. Okay? Now, when I swing it towards you, all you got to do is open the door. Let it go by. So it's going to come down in the middle, right? Like just let it go by. Okay? But you got to wait for it. And you got to be calm. Ready? Hands up. Because again, I want you to learn to say, I don't want to fight, put your hands up. Keep your hands up. Pretty good. I bet we don't have time for much more, but that is the essence of it. I saw, yeah, we got to stop. But yeah, we'll keep working on that because that's a big part of it. Anyway, it was 2 o'clock. Thank you for your time. Hopefully that was enjoyable. Everybody have a great week.